Barron Trump's crypto advice versus Kamala Harris's economic plan. The 2025 X debate. The intersection of cryptocurrency and traditional economic policy has become a focal point in American political discourse, particularly as the 2025 political landscape takes shape. A speculative narrative has emerged on platforms like X, suggesting that Barron Trump, the youngest son of former President Donald Trump, is influencing his father's cryptocurrency policies. This rumor, while unverified, has sparked intense debate, especially when contrasted with Vice President Kamala Harris's economic proposals, which some claim are tailored to California's unique economic challenges. The origins of these narratives, the substance of the policies they reference, the X debate surrounding them, their potential impact on America's financial future, and the scams that have arisen in their wake. We aim to critically examine the claims, separate fact from fiction, and provide a nuanced perspective on this intriguing clash of ideas. The origins of the Barron Trump crypto narrative. The notion that Barron Trump, born in 2006 and largely absent from the public eye, is advising his father on cryptocurrency policy is a curious development. Unlike his siblings, Barron has maintained a low profile, focusing on his education and personal life. However, in early 2025, posts on X began circulating claims that Barron, now a young adult, has developed an interest in blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. These posts allege that he is shaping Donald Trump's pro-crypto stance, particularly in the context of a potential 2025 policy agenda. The X rumor mill. X, as a platform for real-time discourse, is a breeding ground for both groundbreaking ideas and unfounded rumors. The Barron Trump crypto narrative appears to have originated from a series of viral posts in late 2024, following Donald Trump's re-election. One post, from an anonymous account with a significant following, claimed, "Barron is the secret weapon behind Trump's crypto pivot. He's been schooling his dad on DeFi and NFTs." This post, which garnered thousands of likes and reposts, lacked credible evidence but tapped into a broader fascination with the Trump family's influence on policy. Other X users amplified the claim, pointing to Barron's age, 18 in 2024, and his generation's familiarity with digital assets. Some speculated that his education at elite institutions exposed him to tech-savvy peers and blockchain enthusiasts. However, no primary sources, such as interviews, official statements, or documented interactions, have confirmed Barron's involvement in crypto policy. The narrative seems to be a blend of speculation, wishful thinking, and the X platform's tendency to elevate provocative ideas. Donald Trump's crypto evolution. To understand the plausibility of Barron's influence, we must examine Donald Trump's evolving stance on cryptocurrency. During his first term, 2017 to 2021, Trump was skeptical of digital currencies, tweeting in 2019 that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies were not money and facilitated unlawful behavior. However, by 2024, his position had softened, aligning with a broader Republican push to embrace crypto as a counterweight to centralized financial systems. Trump's 2024 campaign included promises to make the U.S. a crypto capital and establish a national Bitcoin reserve. These policies resonated with younger voters and tech entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, who advocated for deregulation of digital assets. While Trump's shift could be attributed to political opportunism or input from advisors like Vivek Ramaswamy, the X narrative credits Barron as a behind-the-scenes influencer. Without evidence, this claim remains speculative, but it reflects a cultural fascination with the idea of a young, tech-savvy Trump shaping the future. Why Barron? The appeal of the narrative. The Barron Trump crypto story resonates because it fits a classic narrative structure, the young prodigy guiding the seasoned leader. Barron's low public profile adds an air of mystery, making him a blank canvas for projections. His age aligns him with Gen Z, a demographic known for its embrace of digital innovation. Additionally, the narrative plays into the Trump family's branding as a dynasty with unique insights into America's future. However, the lack of concrete evidence raises questions. Why would a private individual like Barron, with no public track record in finance or tech, be positioned as a policy influencer? The answer may lie in X's culture of hyperbole, where unverified claims can gain traction if they align with users' biases or aspirations. This narrative also serves as a counterpoint to traditional policy discussions, framing crypto as a disruptive force led by a new generation. Kamala Harris's economic proposals for 2025. In contrast to the speculative Barron Trump narrative, Kamala Harris's economic proposals are grounded in official policy statements and her role as vice president. As the 2024 election unfolded, Harris outlined an opportunity economy agenda, emphasizing middle-class support, small business growth, and affordability. While her national plan has been well documented, some X users have claimed that she is crafting a California-specific economic strategy for 2025, given her ties to the state as a former senator and attorney general. The Opportunity Economy Framework. Harris's economic plan, as articulated during the 2024 campaign, focuses on several key pillars. Tax credits for families and small businesses. Harris proposed expanding the child tax credit to $6,000 for newborns and offering a $50,000 tax deduction for small business startups. These measures aim to alleviate financial pressures on working families and entrepreneurs. Housing affordability. To address the housing crisis, Harris advocated for a $25,000 tax credit for first-time homebuyers and incentives to increase housing supply. Corporate tax increases. Harris supports raising the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28%, partially reversing the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, TCJA. She argues that this will generate revenue to fund social programs while addressing income inequality. Price gouging protections. Harris has pledged to crack down on price gouging in groceries and pharmaceuticals, aiming to lower consumer costs. Minimum wage increase. Harris has endorsed raising the federal minimum wage, though specific figures have varied in her proposals. These policies align with the Biden-Harris administration's broader goals but emphasize Harris's focus on economic equity and opportunity. Critics, including some ex-users, argue that her plan lacks specificity or relies too heavily on government intervention, while supporters praise its focus on vulnerable populations. The California connection. The claim that Harris is tailoring her 2025 economic plan to California is less substantiated but not entirely implausible. California, with its high cost of living, tech-driven economy, and progressive voter base, faces unique challenges. X posts have speculated that Harris is prioritizing California to bolster her political standing, especially if she considers a 2028 presidential run. These posts point to her past advocacy for California-specific issues, such as housing and tech regulation, as evidence. However, no official policy documents confirm a California-exclusive plan. Harris's national agenda includes measures, like housing credits and small business support, that would disproportionately benefit high-cost states like California, but these are framed as universal policies. The California narrative may stem from ex-users' tendency to localize national debates, particularly when discussing a figure with deep ties to the state. Fiscal impact and critiques. According to the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, Harris's plan would increase the national debt by $3.5 trillion over a decade, primarily due to expanded tax credits and spending programs. Critics on X and elsewhere argue that her reliance on corporate tax hikes is unrealistic, as businesses may pass costs to consumers or relocate offshore. Supporters counter that her plan addresses systemic inequalities and invests in long-term growth. The 2025 X debate, crypto versus traditional policy. The Barron Trump crypto narrative and Kamala Harris's economic plan have collided on X, creating a vibrant debate about America's financial future. This section explores the key themes, arguments, and dynamics of the discussion, drawing on X posts and broader economic trends. Crypto as a disruptive force. Cryptocurrency advocates on X view Barron Trump's alleged involvement as a symbol of a paradigm shift. They argue that digital assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum offer a decentralized alternative to fiat currency, which they see as manipulated by central banks and governments. Posts like, "Barron gets it, crypto is freedom from the Fed's control," reflect this sentiment, portraying crypto as a hedge against inflation and bureaucracy. Trump's pro-crypto policies, whether influenced by Barron or not, include National Bitcoin Reserve. Trump has proposed holding Bitcoin as a strategic asset, similar to gold reserves, deregulation. He advocates reducing regulatory barriers for crypto exchanges and startups. NFT support. Trump's own NFT ventures signal his embrace of blockchain-based assets. These ideas resonate with X's crypto community, which sees Trump as a champion of financial innovation. However, skeptics argue that his policies lack detail and could exacerbate market volatility or enable fraud. Harris's traditional approach. In contrast, Harris's economic plan is rooted in conventional fiscal policy, emphasizing taxation, spending, and regulation. X users critical of her approach argue that it fails to address the transformative potential of blockchain technology. Posts like, "Kamala's plan is stuck in the 20th century, tax and spend won't compete with crypto," highlight this critique, framing her policies as out of touch with younger voters and tech trends. Defenders of Harris counter that her focus on equity and stability is more practical than speculative crypto schemes. They point to the volatility of digital assets. Bitcoin's price swings in 2024 ranged from $40,000 to $80,000, as evidence that crypto is not a reliable foundation for economic policy. Moreover, Harris's emphasis on consumer protections aligns with concerns about crypto scams, which have proliferated in recent years. The generational divide. The X debate reflects a generational divide. Younger users, who lean toward crypto, view Barron Trump, or the idea of him, as a relatable figure advocating for their financial future. Older users and policy traditionalists align with Harris's approach, prioritizing stability and government oversight. This divide mirrors broader societal tensions over technology's role in reshaping institutions. For example, a popular X thread compared the two visions. Barron's crypto push, if true, is about empowering individuals. Kamala's plan is about empowering the state. Crypto is a gamble. Harris's policies are about real people. Families, workers, not just tech brothers. Economic implications. The debate also grapples with the economic implications of each approach. Crypto advocates argue that a US-backed digital currency framework could position America as a global leader in blockchain technology, attracting investment and talent. However, economists warn that crypto's volatility and lack of intrinsic value pose risks to financial stability. A 2024 Moody's report projected that unchecked crypto growth could exacerbate inequality, as wealth concentrates among early adopters. Harris's plan, while less speculative, faces its own challenges. Raising corporate taxes could deter investment, and her spending proposals may strain federal budgets. However, her focus on housing and childcare addresses tangible issues for middle-class families, potentially boosting consumer confidence. The Penn-Wharton budget model estimates that Harris's policies would increase GDP slightly in 2025 to 2026 but reduce it long-term due to higher taxes. Debunking scams and misinformation. The Barron Trump crypto narrative and Harris's economic plan have spawned a wave of scams and misinformation, particularly on X. This section identifies common schemes and provides guidance on avoiding them. Crypto scams linked to Barron Trump. The rumor of Barron's crypto influence has been exploited by fraudsters. Common scams include fake investment platforms. Websites claiming to offer Barron-endorsed crypto trading platforms have emerged, promising high returns. These sites often require users to deposit funds in Bitcoin or Ethereum, only to disappear with the money. Impersonation accounts. X accounts posing as Barron Trump or Trump family members promote fraudulent ICOs, initial coin offerings, or token sales. These accounts use verified like handles to deceive users. Phishing schemes. Emails or DMs claiming to offer exclusive crypto tips from Barron's team trick users into revealing wallet keys or personal information. In 2024, the Federal Trade Commission reported that crypto scams cost Americans over $3 billion annually. The Barron narrative has fueled a subset of these schemes, exploiting public curiosity about the Trump family. Misinformation about Harris's plan. Harris's economic proposals have also been distorted. Common falsehoods on X include claims of a California-only plan, some posts exaggerate Harris's focus on California, suggesting she is neglecting other states. This misrepresents her national agenda. False tax hike claims. Critics falsely claim Harris plans to raise taxes on all Americans, ignoring her pledge to protect those earning under $400,000. Misleading economic projections. Posts citing outdated or biased analyses exaggerate the debt impact of Harris's plan, ignoring nuanced projections like those from the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. How to avoid scams. To navigate this landscape, consumers should verify sources, check official statements from the Trump campaign or Harris's office for policy details. Avoid relying on X posts without corroboration. Use reputable platforms, trade crypto only on established exchanges like Coinbase or Binance, and verify URLs to avoid phishing sites. Report fraud. Use X's reporting tools to flag impersonation accounts or scam promotions. Contact the FTC or SEC if you encounter fraudulent schemes. Skepticism is key. Treat claims about Barron's crypto expertise or Harris's secret plans with caution, especially if they lack primary sources. The broader implications for America's financial future. The clash between Barron Trump's alleged crypto influence and Kamala Harris's economic plan raises fundamental questions about America's financial trajectory. This section explores the long-term implications of prioritizing crypto versus traditional policy, drawing on economic theory and historical context. Crypto's role in the economy. Cryptocurrencies' rise challenges traditional monetary systems. Proponents argue that blockchain's decentralization reduces reliance on institutions like the Federal Reserve, which they accuse of fueling inflation through money printing. A U.S. crypto reserve, as Trump has proposed, could legitimize digital assets, attracting global investment. However, risks include volatility. Crypto's price swings could destabilize markets if integrated into national reserves. Regulatory gaps. Without robust oversight, crypto could enable money laundering or tax evasion. Inequality. Crypto wealth is concentrated among early adopters, potentially exacerbating economic divides. Historical parallels, like the dot-com bubble, suggest that speculative assets can drive growth but also collapse spectacularly. The Barron narrative, while speculative, underscores the allure of crypto as a transformative force. Traditional policies staying power. Harris's approach, rooted in Keynesian economics, emphasizes government intervention to correct market failures. Her focus on tax credits, housing, and consumer protections aims to stabilize the middle class, which drives 70% of U.S. GDP through consumption. However, challenges include fiscal sustainability. Rising deficits could constrain future spending, especially with an aging population. Global competitiveness. Higher corporate taxes may deter investment in a globalized economy. Political gridlock. Harris's agenda requires congressional approval, which is uncertain in a polarized Congress. Historical examples, like the New Deal or Great Society, show that government-led programs can reshape economies but often face resistance over costs and scope. Reconciling the two visions. The X debate pits crypto against traditional policy as mutually exclusive, but a synthesis is possible. For instance, Harris could incorporate blockchain into her small business agenda, using smart contracts to streamline lending. Conversely, Trump's crypto push could include consumer protections to align with Harris's anti-fraud stance. A balanced approach might involve stablecoin regulation. Creating a framework for USD-pegged stablecoins to combine crypto's efficiency with fiat stability. Tax incentives for blockchain, encouraging crypto innovation while funding social programs through targeted taxes. Financial literacy, educating Americans about crypto risks and benefits to democratize access. Such a hybrid model could bridge the generational and ideological divides fueling the X debate. Conclusion. The Barron Trump's crypto advice versus Kamala Harris's economic plan narrative encapsulates broader tensions in America's economic discourse: innovation versus stability, decentralization versus regulation, youth versus experience. While the Barron rumor lacks evidence, it reflects crypto's cultural resonance and the Trump family's knack for capturing attention. Harris's plan, though grounded in policy, faces scrutiny for its costs and feasibility, amplified by X's polarized echo chambers. The X debate, while lively, is marred by misinformation and scams, underscoring the need for critical thinking and verified sources. As America navigates its financial future, the challenge lies in harnessing crypto's potential without sacrificing the stability of traditional policy. Whether Barron Trump is truly a crypto savant or Harris can deliver on her economic vision, the real winner will be a policy framework that balances disruption with equity.